All right. Good evening, Nessa. Thanks for the birthday wishes. It was something beautiful. I always feel that, being born as a human being on this planet Earth is the biggest gift for all of us. And when I see that, the most beautiful journey I have been going through all the while is something I enjoy every moment of life. And birthday is one day I always will tell the body is something which always look at the graveyard or the cemetery. The body always goes back there only. So I think whether anybody likes it or not, the body focus is always towards the graveyard. That means towards the five elements of nature from where we are born. We just go back and mix with the nature. Number one. Number two, during this human life, we have something called the mind. The mind is like a monkey jumping all the time. Now, what it wants, the monkey wants something to enjoy on this planet Earth. So, always we are getting deviated from the main path of understanding why we came here, why God created us, and why did He send as a human being. So, we forget that because we are going along with the monkey. But there is one person who always will look up and say, when am I going back to the source? Or when am I going back to the creator? Now that is your soul. So every birthday, we are reminded that our age, we are moving forward and we are having the number of days less to live on planet Earth so that we start realizing better late than never. Let's start something today, then activate our thoughts towards the divine, towards the creator, and learn everything what is necessary for us to achieve that goal of freedom from the birth and the death cycle. Now, this is a message for you all for this birthday from my side. So thank you all for the wonderful wishes. And now let's go to the vitamin D3. Now, until I think even in India and here in Malaysia, we guys in our medical field will never thought of vitamin D3 deficiency. In fact, around I think it's around 10 to 15 years ago, they did that clinical testing in India where one of the researcher was my good friend, and they found that almost 99% of the Indian population had vitamin D3 deficiency. Now that is when some companies, they jumped into a situation where they manufacture vitamin D3 injectables. Now this is something very easily available in India. Now other than that, everybody started manufacturing vitamin D3. Now in India, if you see, you can get vitamin D3 60,000 international units. Whereas in Malaysia, we can hardly get 2,000 international units, and worst come worst, maybe 5,000, but that's very, very rare. But commonly in a pharmacy, you will get 400 international units or maximum 1,000. And worst come worst, maybe 2,000. Now, this is what is available in the market. Now, in my clinical experience, in the past 5 years, even I was not a fanatic of giving vitamin D3 or even prescribing vitamin D3 until 5 years ago. But in the epigenetics, what happened was when I was doing my hair analysis, I found every other person in the hair analysis, I find that vitamin D3 deficiency. And invariably, they will have calcium deficiency in the hair analysis. So this was something which was taunting in my mind. How come these two are, commonly seen? Then I started going and reading about vitamin D3 and, then we as epigenetic doctors in Malaysia, we started looking at what are the available options for us to help our clients. Now that's where we started looking at the injectable forms, and which is available in here in Malaysia as well. And even in India, it's very easily available. Now, when you look at what are the main benefits we get, if we can have an optimal vitamin D3. Now, if you're looking at optimal vitamin D3, there are two things you need to really understand in the D3 inside our body. Now, one is your blood test. Okay. Now, when you do blood test, always you should understand that it doesn't represent your cell or the tissue levels of B12. It only represents that the D3 available in the blood for our body to be utilized. All right. Now, that means there must be something for us to see other than B12, our D3 in our blood test. We should be able to go inside the cell and then pick up the signal. Now, this is something very beautiful. Even though our hair analysis can give a vitamin D3 deficiency information, but from my clinical experience of using our bioquantum, it's almost 9 years I'm using this machine. What beautiful information I can pick is it will exactly tell you how much is your cellular vitamin D3. Now here in our bioquantum, it varies between 4,000 to 7,000. Now the good news is if I am going to probably start giving an injection of vitamin D3, your probably the cell levels can increase. But at the same time, we should also be a little careful that in your blood level, there is something called normal and abnormal range. Like if you see most of the time, the blood report for vitamin D3, anywhere between 75 units to 200 is normal. But I see most of my clients will be either below 75 or below 50, or some or even very, very low is around 30 to 35. That is very, very low. Now, what other situation or the problem we would face is when you take a vitamin D3 and yours is, let's assume around 80. Now, if it is 80, the doctors will tell you is all okay, very good, normal. But the moment you come to my place and then I assess you, and when I see the blood report is around 80, I say this is very low. I need to push your blood level until 150 to 170. Now, why should I do that? Even in the, so what in my clinical practice we all do is, number one, I always push your vitamin D3 to 7,000. Okay, number one. Then I do a blood test. Then I will see how much is it less. Then I start giving vitamin D3 injection. I myself, I have been taking vitamin D3 injection, and you won't believe mine, in spite of taking every month, my D3 level was around 130 to 140. But one time I went to India and came back, it came back to around 83. But now I think it's around 120. But other than that, my cellular vitamin D3 was almost 7,000. So I was very happy. Wow, I optimized. But yesterday I did my bioquantum testing and I'm seeing it's gone back to 6,500. That means it's gone down. So my body is utilizing the vitamin D3. Now, who is that who is using the vitamin D3? Very, very important. Now, we have 50 trillion cells in our body. Now, all the 50 trillion cells has a vitamin D3 receptor. That means all your cells need vitamin D3. So do you think that there will be a situation where you will have a poisoning of vitamin D3 when you're consuming vitamin? I say no, it will never happen. Why? Even if you're having a stressful one day only, from morning until you've been very busy and you're worked up, some issues, some problems, your vitamin D3 is utilized by your cells. So what will happen? Automatically vitamin D3 goes on. So now the situation is we all have to support our body with regular, either in an injectable form, it is available within your doctor's reach. Take it every month. Check your bioquantum, check your blood level as well. These two things you have to do. But by chance your blood level is around 170 or 180, then you can stop taking vitamin D3, wait for 2 to 3 months, and then once again redo a blood test. If it is going down to 120, 130, once again take the injection. This is the easiest form of consuming your vitamin D3. But on the other side, if you say, doctor, I don't want injection, I'm scared of injection, it's okay. So what you need to do, you need to go with vitamin D3 capsules. Now, which kind of capsules are you going to go? I would prefer you take vitamin D3 liposomal. Why liposomal? That means if you're taking 5,000 international units. Now, 5,000 international units with the liposomal vitamin mechanism, everything goes inside. But if you're taking the normal vitamin D3, I think most of the time the absorption may not be full, and your vitamin D3, you will not see that it is fully increasing as usual. It may not. That's why if available, like in Malaysia, we don't get liposomal vitamin D3, so we can't give you. So we still have to give you the normal. But in India, it is available. The liposomal vitamin D3 is available. So definitely people can buy the liposomal vitamin D3 and take. Now here what happens is, you need to understand that I've told you that it helps in bone health and calcium metabolism. Okay. Now you want your calcium to be absorbed from the intestine. Vitamin D3 is very, very important. So I had one particular case from USA. Now these people had come and that lady was put on uh, calcium tablets on a regular basis. In fact, she was put on calcium injections and she's been taking now she's from USA, and I did a hair testing for her. Can you believe there was a deficiency of vitamin K2? I was wondering, wow, vitamin K2 deficiency. So what is happening in her? The calcium is getting either deposited in the blood vessel, number one. Number two, it can be deposited in the kidneys as a calcium stones. So that means she is eligible for calcium stones in the kidneys, or she can have gallbladder stones, or she can have vessel block. Now the doctors did a good job. They have given her the injection of vitamin, the calcium injection specifically for her calcium being low. But at the end of the day, she was having a K2 deficiency. So now what I did was I have given her, this particular client, vitamin D3 with K2. Now this is where her calcium will get absorbed and automatically the calcium with the K2 will go to the bone and get deposited there. Now, don't you think this is very, very important? So blindly, if at all, if you're taking calcium also is not good. Blindly, you're taking vitamin D3, not good. So you need to go for vitamin D3 with K2, which you can take between 100 to 200 micrograms. On a daily basis, you can take it as long as you're taking vitamin D3 so that the calcium which gets absorbed will be pushed into the bone so that your bone can become much more stronger. This is very, very important. Now, the second one you see here, what is the importance of vitamin immune support? What does it do? Now, if you had seen during the COVID time, you would have seen a lot of doctors prescribing vitamin D3. Now, why vitamin D3? Because now vitamin D3 is mostly stored a lot in your leukocyte. Now, leukocytes are the one which will go and fight the organisms. Now, if vitamin D3 is well sufficient in the inside the leukocytes, what will happen? They can go and fight the organism, they can go and fight the parasite, they can go and fight the bacteria, viral infection, all can be done. That is where, when you look at the D3, it plays such an important role inside our immune system. And one more very, very important thing, you would have heard a lot of people having autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorder is something where we notice that your own immune system is fighting against your own normal cells. Why? Because it sees the normal cells as an abnormal cell. Then it starts going and fighting. Now, this is where you need to understand that sufficient amount of vitamin D3 inside your body can help you in your immune system. And especially those of you who are suffering from autoimmune diseases. It can be your autoimmune thyroiditis. It can be even diabetes. It can be autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis. It can be sarcoidosis. There are a lot of diseases. But by consuming vitamin D3, you will definitely help your body to fight the immune system naturally. So isn't it naturally that we are supposed to look in for how much is your vitamin D3 and then take it? And don't you think that bioquantum is a very, very important testing where you can see how much is your vitamin D3? Very, very important. And many, many diseases in that way, I would prefer to let you know that diabetes plays a very important role. A lot of people who come to us will has a lot of vitamin D3 deficiency, but they're all diabetic. They are on medication. They are not on any nutraceutical support. How do you think the diabetes is going to come down? Diabetes is not going to come down unless you correct one of the very, very important, which is vitamin D3. Now, this is very, very important. Now, you don't want your immune system to go down, and you want your immune system to fight over the organisms. 100% you all need to have a sufficient amount of dietary. Now, sufficient means it's not the normal level. You need to have on the higher level. Next, very important, most of us will have inflammation in the body. Now, inflammation can be because of your stress. It can be because of the external radiation. It can be because of the lead poisoning. It can be because of the pesticide. It can be because of your food habits. It can be because of your, if you're consuming a lot of packed food, ready-made foods, eating in restaurants. Now, why restaurant eating you have an inflammation process? Because the oil what they use in the uh, restaurants is definitely cheap oil. In fact, it's all recycled oils. They actually get it very, very cheap, and then they use it. Now, this is how many times we all are consuming products which causes inflammation. Now, how are you going to bring it down? Having one of the important vitamin D3 levels, you will be able to bring down the inflammation, which is very, 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 very important. And of course, there's a lot of research in our medical practice we have seen. It helps a lot in terms of cardiovascular diseases. Now, why do we say that? As you know very, very well, that if you're having sufficient amount of vitamin D3, your blood pressure can go down. It can actually improve the heart rate, heart function by regulating the calcium level in the cardiovascular system. Now, most of the calcium is going and getting it deposited in your vessels, right? If you're taking with K2, automatically it is being pushed to the, into your bone level. Now, other than that, how many of you have seen very irritable? Sometimes, after a tired day, you feel very irritated. Don't know why. But if you see, 100% these people will have vitamin D3 deficient. And it is one of the most simplest, easiest thing for us to rectify through our diet, through our supportive supplements, or through getting an injection. Now, why is it? Because it plays a very, very important role in your serotonin production. Now, serotonin is very, very important. How? You need to have a proper amino acid called tryptophan. Tryptophan gets converted to serotonin. Now, if serotonin gets converted to melatonin, your sleep is very good. So that means for your emotional well-being, you need serotonin. For a good amount of melatonin production in your body, you need to have good amount of serotonin. You need to have good amount of tryptophan. So overall, if you look at vitamin D3 is a very, very good neuroprotective cognitive. Now, many times you will say, I'm having, doctor, I'm having something like brain fog. This is a very common words I see with our clients here. Now, the moment I go check the vitamin D3 is very low and give one injection, within next 1 week to 2 weeks, you can see their cognitive behavior and their, focus, everything changes. Now, that's how vitamin D3 not only plays an important role in your inflammation, it plays an important role in your mood regulation, in your sleep, and in your cognitive function. Okay. Now, muscle strength and performance. What does vitamin D3? In fact, there's a lot of clinical studies where they have seen that when you have optimal vitamin D3, so you need to understand what I mean by optimal vitamin D3. Optimal vitamin D3 is nothing but having your vitamin D3 level above 150, and it is not normal level of 75 and above. You should have on the highest level so that when there is optimal level, your muscle starts functioning very well. And of course, it helps the calcium absorption, which is very, very important in not only your bone health, it helps your muscle contraction. Now imagine you want to jog and you have muscle weakness and you cannot run. There's a pain. But if you give vitamin D3, automatically when you go for jogging, you will not have pain. You will not have the muscle cramps. All this happens, especially in the older adults. You can see a lot of problem because of vitamin D3 deficiency. So here vitamin D3 improves balance. Now balance of what? Your body balance. Why? Because when your muscles are strong, you're able to have a a balance of your getting up from your chair, balance while walking. All this can happen. But if there is a vitamin D3 deficiency and suddenly your balance, your muscle is now see many times we don't know. And many times what happens, doctor, the moment you fall down, you will have a fracture. That's it. You go to a doctor, orthopedician, of course, they will fix the bone with either the plates, and after that, you need to recover from that. Then they will write something called calcium or calcitrol. If you are older age, they will write something called calcitrol. Now, what does it do? They may not even give you vitamin D3, but taking vitamin D3 helps you to have a sufficient amount of calcium inside the body, but where? To your bone. Now, you need to start having optimal levels of vitamin D3 as young as possible. Don't wait until deficiency happens and then you come down and choose choose your vitamin D3 to be supplement. Don't do that. You definitely need to understand if you are at the younger age, better check your vitamin D3 level. You can check your blood levels, but when you come to us, we will do the vitamin D3 levels. Then, if necessary, you take. If your this one is optimal, you don't need to take vitamin D3. But as a doctor, I definitely will tell you, most of us, most of you will have vitamin D3 deficiencies. Or maybe if you have a normal, I would say it is not optimal. You need to have optimal levels of vitamin D3. This is also very, very important. Now, lastly, cell growth and cancer prevention. You want to prevent cancer, you need to have an optimal vitamin D3. This is very, very important. And you see, what are the cancers it can prevent? It can prevent colon cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer by influencing the cell growth and the immune function. So you want a very good immune system. Your immune system is the one which can go and kill the cancer. This is very, very important. Nobody else from outside. Of course, we use chemotherapy, we use radiotherapy, all fine. But at the end of the day, the most beautiful army in your body is your immune system. So you need to have a very good immune system so that it functions properly. It protects your body from all the invasion of all the bacteria. But forget about invading the bacteria. Your own body will produce cancer cells. Now, why do we produce a cancer cell? Now, cancer cell will grow if there is no oxygen. Very simple. So that means what you need to do? You need to go for regular exercise. I don't know how many of you all here are going for regular exercise. And what is the speed you're walking? You cannot be walking 10 kilometers per hour speed means nothing is going to happen. You need to go a little faster. For example, you need to start with 5 kilometers per hour speed and then later on increase it to 7 is ideal. Don't go to 10. 10 is too fast. But you can go up to 7 kilometers per hour speed. I think that is ideal. That will be fantastic. Now, this is where you need to work on regular exercise. Number 2, you need to do breathing exercise. This is also very, very important. If you do proper breathing, I always tell 5, 5, and 10. 5 seconds, inhale to breathe. 5 seconds, hold the breath. 10 seconds, exhale out. This anybody can do anytime. So for this, what you need to do? You need to have a breathe apparatus, which I think you can buy from any pharmacy and start using it. If you can do the breathing exercise for 15 minutes every day, at least you're assured your oxygenation is good. At least you're assured. Maybe there are a few cancer cells, but the moment oxygen goes in, the cancer cell cannot live, they will die. So at least your body will be saved from your cancer cells being multiplied. So this is where one of the very, very important function. You don't want cancer. You need to have an optimal vitamin D3. You want your cell to regrow and you want your cell to grow properly. Even there also, you need to have vitamin D3. So ultimately, when you see, we all are deficient of vitamin D3. What you need to do, if any nearby, you can buy the vitamin D3. How much are you supposed to take? Number 1, at least a minimum of 5,000 international units every day. You take it for 3 months along with vitamin K2. You need to go for with K2. Now, If you're going to buy vitamin D3 with K2, it's going to be expensive. You go to the pharmacy and see it will be nothing less than around 100 to 120 ringgits in Malaysia. Whereas in India, maybe slightly cheaper, but still it is slightly expensive compared to buying only vitamin D3. Now, how long you are going to take? You need to regularly monitor your blood. This is very important. You cannot blindly take it, because if it goes very high, there is something called toxicity, which may hamper your parathyroid hormones. There are a lot of other problems it will create. So let us not go into that situation, but that is a very, very rare possibility. Probably I would say 1 in 1,000 people may have that situation where it is very, very high. It doesn't happen. Why? I can confidently tell you is, number one, even if by chance you have a lot of vitamin D3, the moment you have a little bit of stressful life, the moment you start going for jogging, everything starts getting utilized. So when everything starts getting utilized, definitely your vitamin D3 levels are going down. So even if you're going to consume vitamin D3 regularly, you will face some deficiencies. Now you may think, oh, this doctor has given a lot of very good information. So from today, I will start on vitamin D3. Let me tell you, it is not just vitamin D3 alone. You need to understand our body needs 92 vitamins, minerals, trace elements, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and trace elements. All these are all necessary for our body. So vitamin D3 is just one of it. Now, what do you want to do? Just take vitamin D3, is it? No. So what you need to do is you have to get yourself tested. Either get a bioquantum or get your hair analysis done. And from there, we know what is your epigenetic factors deficiency. And then we slowly correct it step by step. Or according to the priority, I would give you injection or supportive supplements in terms of supporting your body through nutraceuticals. Now, many times people will be asking me, doctor, is there any side effects when you're going to take this in a long run? I say it's not a problem, but don't go into take only one kind of vitamins continuously. If, for example, you may be a Amway fan, what you do, you will go and buy Amway products. Not a problem. Now, what happens is many times I notice that people are consuming whichever product continuously for years together, and they are giving good business for the Amway. Is okay, no problem. But at the end of the day, does your body need those whatever you're taking? Is it necessary or not? Unless you check your epigenetic factors, you definitely will not be able to know what is the correct vitamin deficiency you have and what is that you need to take, how long you need to take, how much you need to take. All this only by testing. Without testing, nothing is going to be easy for you. But today we see a lot of people, everybody wants to be promoted by with one multi-level marketing company, or they come out with their own beautiful products. I don't deny it's good, but check before you consume those. Check what is deficiency. If what is deficiency you're going to consume, your body also will be happy, isn't it? Sometimes you may have a lot of vitamin E or vitamin C in your body, and you're going on popping up this vitamin E or vitamin C. Your body will be thinking, why this mad person is going on taking this? I already have it. What should I do with the remaining? So he'll throw it off. So this is where your body also sometimes gets frustrated with the kind of attitude we have in consuming nutraceuticals without knowing that it is not necessary. So what is necessary, you need to take. This is 100%. But other than that, we all need to be balanced enough. Is that we all have to supposed to take only nutraceutical all throughout? I said, no, not necessary. What you can do, you can have a proper food plan. That means what food are you eating? What kind of vitamins is available in that particular vegetable? And how are you eating? Are you cooking the vegetable fully, or are you boiling, like steaming the vegetables? And what kind of salt are you using? And what kind of oil are you using to fry? All these play a very, very important role in our nutraceutical upliftment. And most of us, even though we may be eating the right food, but the absorption may not be there. So what to do? If you want good absorption, your intestine must be healthy. So if your intestine must be healthy, you need to have good bacteria. If you want good bacteria, you need to take probiotic. But if bad bacteria is there, you're just taking probiotics is not going to help you. You need to clear the bad bacteria. How are you going to clear? That is when we will give you some gut antibiotic. That is where we give you deworming. Now, can you believe a lot of people sometimes, after deworming, I don't know, many a times we notice that taking your deworming tablet, you need to, when you go to the toilet, you need to see if there are any worms or not. And today I had one person came and told me, doctor, I saw some small thing coming out, doctor, because last week only I put him on a deworming tablet. Now, can you believe an adult of 50 plus age and the worms are there inside the body, especially the parasite? And imagine what the parasite will be doing. These guys are very, very happy. The parasites are someone, not only the parasite, the bad bacteria, those guys are the happiest. It's always told, when the good guys are sleeping, when the good guys are less in number, the bad guys will start increasing. Now, this is today's world. You go and see outside, you can see every other person doing the wrong thing. Why? Because nobody to question them. Even if one person question them, they shut his mouth and then he cannot even open his mouth to tell that what is wrong, what is going on is wrong. This is what is the reality of the outside world. Then what about the inside world in our body? It's the same nonsense. The bad bacteria guys are so happy they are eating whatever food you're eating, those guys are enjoying. Now, are they really helping you? No, they are not helping you. But the good bacteria, what they do, they will absorb your whatever probiotics you're giving. They will absorb all the nutrition. They will produce certain enzymes, which is very, very important in terms of absorption of your nutrition. Who is doing the good job? The probiotics, the good bacteria. Okay, now, is it good enough? Just, doctor, I'm taking probiotics, la doctor. Sorry, your probiotics alone is not going to help you. What are you going to take? You need to take at least 7 to 8 different enzymes are available. You need to take. Now, enzymes, how does it produce? Enzymes are available in your vegetables, available in your fruits. Now, fruits, how are you going to, unless you consume fruits regularly, your enzymes are available. But many times what happens, you will take a fruit juice. Now, fruit juice, how do they prepare? They use a blender. The moment you're on the blender, you go and touch the blender after blending your juice, it will be very hot. The moment it is hot, when your juice comes in contact with hot surface, automatically all the enzymes will die. So what is the use? After that, drinking that, your fruit juice is of no use because there are no enzymes. So which is the best mixer you need to use? You need to use slow juicer. There is a machine called slow juicer. You need to buy that machine and put the fruits and vegetables inside that. On one side, the pulp comes out. On one side, the fresh juice comes down. Now, what is the difference? When you keep the juice, a glass of juice, for 30 minutes after preparing in a slow juicer, the juice will remain the same consistency all 30 minutes. But the same thing, you do prepare it from a the normal juicer, and you leave it outside. Within 30 minutes, you will see that the whole thing settles down as a thick layer, and top you can see a separate layer. So which is better? The slow juicer juice is better because it contains the fresh fruit juice with all the enzymes. Amazing, isn't it? So you all need to, there are a lot of things. This is where the guidance come in. So where you need to take care of your gut system. That is why we have our gut formula, which has your probiotics. We have your enzymes. We have something called amino acid called glutamine. See, all are important. It is not just taking probiotics because the general population, they feel just taking probiotics, they can feel better. No, you need to consume a lot of other enzymes and vitamins you need to take. Just hold on 1 second. Sanjay, bole masula. So in that way, enzymes plays a very, very important role. So we need to understand that you need a package of everything together. That is when our body will start absorbing other nutrition automatically inside. Just like I was telling you, vitamin D3 with K2 will help the calcium to be absorbed and taken to the place where, to the bone, and it gets deposited there. This is how it has to be done. So there is always a interdependence of many, many factors. Life is also not just with one thing in life we can move forward. No, life is a combination of many factors. Right? Like when you get up in the morning, what do you do? What do you think? How positive are you feeling about yourself? Are you feeling happy? Or are you feeling sad? Are you feeling depressed? Now, today, this happened at around 1 o'clock. I received a call from one of my clients. He's around 30 years old. And he just called me, and I had a lot of missed call. I didn't know why he was calling me, but I answered his call after 2 hours because I was busy. And he started crying. The 30-year my young man, he started crying. I said, "Why are you crying?" "Doctor, my fiancée died, doctor." His fiancée was 28 years old. When? 31st of August. I said, "Hey, what are you telling? What happened?" You know what he said, "Doctor, on the 31st, she came and dropped me in my office. And she said, I'll come back and pick you up at around 3 o'clock." And she went to Putrajaya. And this girl, she was on the highway, and she is a known asthmatic. And what happened was suddenly she felt breathless. And her father is driving the car, and suddenly she felt breathless. And she had the aerosol pumps, and she started pumping that. And she has called her fiancé and told her, "I am not able to breathe. Please help me. Please help me." In Tamil, she was telling, "Kapatunga, kapatunga." And in the meantime, his boyfriend called the ambulance and he said, "Where is the location?" Now, do you know what is the time duration they took? It's 30 minutes. By the time the ambulance went there, this girl already passed away. This girl already passed away. So now what happened? Now she's no more. Now this guy, they both decided to get married next month 6th. It's so sad to even listen to a story like this. Suddenly someone popping up, and he's uncontrollably was crying, and he said, "Doctor, I'm really going in for depression. I really don't know what to do." Now imagine when a person is telling, "I'm going in for depression," do you think he needs assistance? Yes, he needs assistance. I told him, "Tomorrow morning, come to my clinic. Let's sit down. Let's see what we need to talk." Now, why am I sharing this? The first thing is, I asked him last year, November, he came and saw me. He had some problem. Within 1 week, I cleared everything, which he had for more than 2 months. He had a problem of cough, everything for 2 months. And I cleared it in 1 week. And after that, until now, 6 months, no problem. He's absolutely fine, fantastic. But he told me, "Doctor, my fiancée has got asthma." I said, "Please bring her. Please bring her. Let me do the cellular analysis and let me see her." Can you believe the responsibility of these two, whatever souls they are? They took it for granted. They took it for granted. Now what happened? The penalty they paid is the life. Now you think we can bring back the life? No, we cannot bring back the life. He's gone. That's it. Now this is going to taunt this boy all through his life. All through his life. He lost his girl. He was supposed to get married. Now what will he do? For the next, I don't know, for how many years he will be in the grief, for him to come out. We don't know. But very sad, isn't it? Now, why is that human beings are so dumb? Why is that human being don't understand? But sometimes I feel, why every time I tell them, "Hey, come and see me," they will think, "Oh, we go to this doctor, he's so expensive, he's," all these thinking they will think. But once you lose your life, what's the point? So ultimately, we all are living here. Come on. You can have the whole world of money with you. You can have a big bungalow. So what? Your health is not okay. That's it. There is no point in your life living on earth because your life is no guarantee. One fine cup you will move. That's it. Especially 50 plus years people. Don't take it for granted. Your life is very, very important. Number one. Number two, youngsters. Come on, la. Don't be overweight. What's your weight? For your age, how much should be your weight? You might be 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. You're all youngsters. Wake up. Don't give excuses in life. You need to get out of your bed, go in the morning, go for a regular jogging and keep yourself fit. Very important. What food you eat? Better plan. Nobody is going to come and help you. Tomorrow something goes wrong. Nobody can help you. So when you are like connected to our organization, Golden Hands, we are all there to assist you. We want to definitely help you. We want to come and assist you in every aspect. It's not the money, you know. But of course, on one side, I will say, yeah, of course, as a doctor, if I spend that time, you pay me. That is, of course, for my 36 years of my experience. How much do you pay? Do you know something? If someone wants to build a house, build a house, an engineer, you know how proudly our guys will be there. For an architect, just for drawing, they will charge 50,000. In Malaysian ringgits, it will be nothing less than 5,000 to 10,000 ringgits. And people are ready to pay them. Whereas at a doctor, we are asking, what is the consultation fees? 200, 250 or 300, sometimes even 150, 100. To pay that also, people find it, they are doing some big favor for paying for us. Sorry. Whereas you build a house you just give it to a contractor to build the house. You know how much of profit he will have? Even if he's building a house of 100,000 ringgits, his profit will be nothing less than 20,000 to 30,000 ringgits. Comfortably, he will make 30 to 40%. Whereas for us as doctors, we sit here, go on talking and talking and talking. You know how much of money can we earn? And what is our overheads, right from our paying our rental to so we have so much of commitments. Who is going to come and pay us? It's we have to work hard, and then yes. So this is where our golden hands, right from the beginning, we all are, right from Nesa to Harshita to myself to other doctors who are all here. We all are here to help you. So your job, wake up, change, and start moving forward and help more people. I think Nisa, every time he's going on telling, hey, invite people, invite people, invite people. What? Sometimes I don't want to use the language. What the hell is happening? If you're getting married, how many people you'll invite? Don't you think you'll invite 1,000 people? Don't you think you'll invite 100 people? Yes. Why? It's because your marriage. But when health is coming and we guys like all the way every week sit down, prepare, and first half an hour, we start our Zoom at around 7:30. What do we do? Myself, Nesa, we prepare. Now, why should we prepare? How much of dollars are we gaining from this? Nothing. But why are we committed? We are committed because this is our responsibility. This is our social responsibility. Myself, Nesa, and Ashita, we are here. Whether sunshine, rain, doesn't matter. We are all here. So here, my humble request to every one of you, please take care of your health. Please let know people that there is something like this. Health is not something just do your blood test and then think everything is okay. No, we all have to be healthy means we take the responsibility. We take our passion to even speak to people and then let them come. Of course, you may talk to 10 people, one person might. It's okay. It's okay. But at least we need to do something. We all have to put an effort. What is your responsibility? What are you doing? So this is where 100% we all need to work on, hold hand in hand. Let's work together, improve our vitamin D3 levels properly, check your blood test, check your bioquantum test, and then keep your vitamin D3 optimal and move forward. But of course, last slide, which I missed it helps in your blood sugar regulation, diabetes, I already told, and it plays a very important role in your hormonal balance, something very beautiful. Now, this is where and finally, can you see the reproductive health? Yes, in infertility, vitamin D3. In fact, I need to share this. My daughter had quite a bit of vitamin D3 deficiency. And when I started giving vitamin D3 out of the blues, she has endometriosis. So I was thinking this girl will never conceive. But I gave her regular vitamin D3 and one fine day she said, Dad, I'm pregnant. Can you believe? Amazing. Now I am able to correlate. There's a lot of beautiful things. People out there with a lot of deficiencies, especially youngsters having PCODs, youngsters having irregular periods, youngsters having painful periods. We can handle it properly through epigenetic correction. So with this, thank you all very much for this wonderful opportunity. And I hope it's an awakening call. Check your vitamin D3, check your vitamin cellular, how much is it? And then get back to us if there is anything we can do. Definitely, we are there to assist you from all angles, and then let's all live a very, very healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much and have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you, and over to you, Nesa.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Prabhu. Dear participant, don't you think it's a valuable information that doctor has shared? So it's a wake-up call, dear participants. So just imagine our 50 trillion cell needs vitamin D3. So now this is where BCG plays an important factor now. Visit, consult, and get corrected. So we are there to assist you as what Dr. Prabhu was mentioning. So now this session is over to you all. So is there any question you would like to ask to our doctor? Over to you all now. Any question? So is there any question?
I think Nesa, everybody is thinking tomorrow morning, go to the sun and then say Surya Namaskar and absorb. Okay, before I close on, I need to let you know. Number one, if you stand in the sun, early morning sun, for 1 hour, you will get 20,000 international units of vitamin D3. So you decide how many hours you want to stay there outside and how much is going to get absorbed. Number two, if you're 50 years plus, the absorption of vitamin D3 through your skin is less because you're thin, your skin is very thin. So definitely you will not be able to absorb a lot of vitamin D3. So you need supplements. But if you're an youngster, yes, your absorption of vitamin D3 is very, very high because you're thin skin, thick skin. So automatically the vitamin D3 going inside will be very, very high. So two things you need to understand about vitamin D3. There's another clue also I want to give. It's not that directly you need to go and stand under a sun. You don't need to. If there is a beautiful tree and the sunshine is coming on the tree, you still can go under the tree and stand there. It will transmit that vitamin D3 to you. This is another way of absorbing vitamin D3. Under the tree and a hot sun, it will get absorbed. Something beautiful in that. Over to you, Nesa.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. See, in addition to that, Doctor has given us a beautiful tips. So now it's our responsibility to take care of our body. All right, dear participant, is there any questions, or else we can go move forward to our last segment? Is there any question on y'all? If no, we shall go to the last segment. Let me share this. All right. Okay. Today, it's going to be an interesting topic as what Dr. Prabhu was mentioning about D3. Okay, it is all about maths. Okay, maths plays a very important, is essential for our life with the add, subtract, multiply, and division. So the moment you wake up in the morning, our first look is at the clock tonight. So each thing belongs to maths. And also, what as Dr. Prabhu was mentioning on to talk about vitamins. So there must be a add and minus multiply. This plays an important element for the vitamins to stay in our body. Moreover, it gives you a different impact for the body as well as in our life journey. So maths plays a very important. There again, one important lesson in math that, as I mentioned to you just now, always be careful with the signs. If more addition, what will be the impact? What's more subtraction, what will be the impact? Or more multiplication, what will be the impact? This is the thing that we have to learn through our journey called life. And let me ask you all, dear participant, what is our equation for life? What is our life equation? Okay, the life equation, that is plus, subtract, and equal. What you all need to add in your life. Love yourself. Do what you love. respect, care, gratitude, trust, forgive, let go, patience, self-discipline, live in the present moment, confident. This is the added positivity that you have to add each time in your life. And what you all need to subtract. Subtract is your anger, ego, jealousy, greed, laziness, hatred, complaint, and self sabotage. If you do this, if you do your own arithmetic, if you do your own calculation, this is how the equation of life is going to be. If you do that for daily, what will be our wonderful life journey will be? If you do that daily, how do you feel? If you do that daily, what will be your energy, frequency, vibration of you yourself? People will stare at you. Then people will be wondering, hey, how come this guy is becoming very shiny, blooming? So this is how you have to use this arithmetic properly. So the same applies in our just epigenetic correction equation. What will be our equation for epigenetic correction? Yes, there will be a plus, subtract, division, multiply, and equal. Okay, what will be the addition? You have to add nutraceutical as what Dr. Prabhu was mentioning. Subtract pharmaceutical and hospital medicine. What you need to do, divide with good dietary and give yourself 6 months to 12 months. This is how the RRT will happen in your body. What is RRT? RRT is what we call, sorry, sorry. RRT is what we call recovery, reversal, transformation will happen into your body. With this, formula, definitely you all can lead a good health and well-being. Rest sure, we at Golden Hands Epigenic, we have seen our patient how they transform their sick body to healthy living. We have seen the transformation happen to them. With that, Golden Hands Epigenetic Solution, we are there to give you a practical part of finding a healthy lifestyle that works for you. And we are there for you all to assist. Our numbers are there, our website is there. You all can contact us at any time. With that, our entire team of Golden Hands Epigenetic Solution, Dr. Prabhu, myself, and Harshita signing off for today's webinar. Do remember that mathematics, arithmetic plays a very important element in our daily life. Try to use that additional subtract, multiply, division wisely. Stay blessed, dear participants. See you next week. Bye-bye.